at all. If anything, the only issue I have had was with my tires. It was a very, very strange problem, mainly because the tire didn't go flat or anything like that, but actually it went down about halfway and it wouldn't take any air. So it was just strange. I love this bumpy road. This bumpy road is actually the best. It makes you feel like suspension and all that. Granted that the back suspension is not that great on the Scout. It can be certainly improved. But there's parts where I'm feeling the suspension. It's actually fine. I feel the Scout is actually a fast, economic bike. It's got great looks. It's got style. I did change the exhaust of my bike. Put some trasks, mufflers, and I have to say the sound of the bike has greatly improved. By the way, if anybody's wondering where am I at, I live in Downtown St Petersburg, Florida, so right next to Tampa Bay, and I prefer it this way. I used to live in Tampa, but the traffic was horrible. And at least over here, there's not that many people, and I enjoy my rides. As I was saying, the strangest thing was the tires, because not just necessarily that they went flat, but I wasn't really aware as to how hard it was going to be to come by with new tires for the bike. And back then I used to commute back and forth to work. So long story short is that over the weekend my tire went bad on a Friday. So during Saturday and Sunday I had to manage to get tires, and the only place I had tires was my dealership. And of course that is like the worst idea ever that you can have, to intend to get your tires changed at the dealership, because obviously the dealership is on the business to make money, not necessarily to get you the tires that you might need. Obviously they'll give them to you, but they'll overcharge you off the ass. So that weekend I ended up spending about $700 to $800 for 2 tires, and I learned my lesson that time. So now I purchased my tires ahead of time. Once I know that the tire is going to be at a certain age, or that I have used for so long, then I'll just go purchase my tires online, and then I'll just take the bike anywhere, not necessarily to the dealership, and I'll just have them swap the tires real quick, and it ends up being a lot cheaper. So right now, in case you're wondering, I have the same original tires that this bike would have come with, only that they were replaced once. But since I bought them at the dealership back then, when I swapped them, they only had the original tires that the regular Scout come with, not the bobber. So that's what I'm using. My next set of tires are going to be the Night Dragons. I feel that here in Florida, these tires are going to be great, because granted that they don't last extremely long, but the grip on those tires is probably the best grip I've seen on any tire. And considering the amount of sand and dirt that we have on our roads naturally here in Florida, that will be a very good investment. As I mentioned previously, I used to commute on my bike to work 20 miles each way, and I did that for about 2 years. And then finally I got lucky enough to start working from home. So now I just mainly ride my bike when I go to the gym or on the weekends. And I really enjoy riding my bike any chance I get. This bike is really not the greatest bike for long trips, meaning it's a great bike for commuting, no matter how far you're going within the city. 20, 30, 40 minutes, especially if you change the stock seat, which the stock seat is pretty bad. And also, depending on your height, you might want to invest on monkey bars or something much like I added to my bike to actually make you able to sit upright. But on a highway trip, the problem with this bike is that the gas tank is so small. It's not as small as a bigger bike, and therefore you gotta be stopping a lot often than on other bikes to refill. This bike has a 3-gallon tank, I think, versus the 5-gallon that other bikes or bigger bikes come with. So it can be annoying. However, even so, I used to ride about 40 miles a day back in the day. I used to only have to pump about 3 times a week, maybe less sometimes. So it's definitely convenient. I do have insurance. I do have to say I love Florida insurance because if you had your motorcycle safety course done, here Geico gives you a great insurance. I pay about $20 a month for full coverage on this thing. And they give you towing, they give you pretty much everything for dirt cheap. I'm not saying by any means that Geico is the best insurance company or anything like that. I'm pretty sure there are other good insurance companies that they may be worse, better, equal in quality. I'm just saying that so far, when I went to look for insurance, I went to look for the cheapest insurance, as I didn't think I needed that much insurance on my bike. And I was happily surprised knowing that motorcycle insurance was really, really cheap. Ultimately, the original reason why I got the insurance was because here in Florida, you're not really required to use a helmet as long as you have insurance. Granted, that is really, really tricky because I used to have police officer friends and they were telling me that they don't really have a way to check if you have insurance or not unless they pull you over and they ask you for proof of insurance. So if they don't see you with a helmet, they don't necessarily stop you, but if they stop you without a helmet, they will definitely ask you for insurance. Versus if you have a helmet on, they really can't care less if you have insurance or not. So every once in a while, I like to ride without a helmet, depending on where I'm going. Definitely if I take a highway or if I go on a long trip, I bring my skull helmet on. But if I go on a short trip, meaning like a few blocks or anything like that, then I'll just go with that one. I enjoy the sun, enjoy the wind, and I try to make riding a motorcycle the best experience I can get. The helmet I have is a skull helmet my wife got for me because I used to not ride a helmet at all, and she was kind of bugging me for the longest time to start wearing one. So I just caved in and I was like, okay, you know what? I'll start wearing a helmet for certain trips and all that. We kind of made a deal that, shorter trips, don't need one. Longer trips, I kind of compromised and said, okay, fine. And I have to say, I don't really feel bad, especially now I have a daughter. And, I have a real nice family. And granted that, I do have life insurance and all that in case if something happens. But, if a helmet can help me stay alive longer, then so be it. Do you guys wear helmets? Do you guys commute every day? Do you guys do anything different? It'd be nice to know what kind of bikes you guys ride, if you ride anything. As I previously mentioned, I have this bike since October 2015. It's a 2016 Indian Scout. It has a 1200 horsepower engine, and it's a very, very easy to maintain bike. Maintenance is cheap, especially if you know how to do it yourself. My main goal right now is, now that I finished paying the bike, which actually I finished paying it this past month, what I want to do is I want to finish paying off my car, and then once I'm done with that, I'm probably going to, at some point, not trade in the bike because I don't want to trade it in. I actually like it. I'm probably going to keep it, finish modifying it, and then I like to get me a dark horse. I always liked the dark horse. The dark horse was my favorite bike from day one, and unfortunately when I went to get this bike, I tried to get a dark horse and I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't afford it. But ultimately I want a dark horse, so I would like to start doing longer trips, more comfortable trips, and start having a little bit more fun.
Oh yeah, you got your.
Or I'd say a different kind of fun. Being able to go to other places. I just don't like the idea of having to stop so often just to pump gas all over again and get somewhere. So alright, we just finished having dinner. We're getting back on our bikes. And my friend Joe is to my left. He has a Kawasaki Vulcan Custom. It's a 2015. And we were just having fun because he's from Indiana. He rode his bike all the way down here from there. And he's always made fun of me because I started working from home and haven't rode my bike as much as I used to. So we were talking about how many miles I had on my bike, and he couldn't believe me. And I was like, well, I think I told him 15,000 miles on my bike. And he was like, no, you gotta show me, blah, 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 blah. So when we went back to our bikes, I was like, see, look. And long story short is that he rode his bike all the way from Indiana down here. He actually commutes to work every day. He's been commuting every day for the last, I don't know, probably 2-3 years, whatever. And yet he has only 1,000 miles more than I do. So it was pretty funny. We were like, let me see. And then I was like, so you mean to tell me you commute every day, you do all this stuff, you give me just so much crap about it, about the fact that I work from home and all that, but yet you have only 1,000 miles more than I do? I just triggered that car's alarm with the revving of the engine. I love how loud my bike has gotten with the new mufflers. I do have to admit though that they are not for everybody. This bike is super loud. I'm pretty sure my neighbors hate me at 4 o'clock in the morning, and at the same time I do believe that louder bikes keep you safer up to some point and some extent.
Text me when you get home then.
It is obviously science that when you're riding, nobody hears you from up front, especially when you're riding fast. However, if you're next to somebody, they know that you're there. If you are in front of somebody, they can hear you. They don't forget about you. And if you're by somebody's blind spot, but you're next to them, they'll hear your bike too. One of the reasons why I changed the mufflers is because I got tired of people merging on me. I used to ride with Joe when he just came here, and even before when he came here, I used to get merged a lot. I got merged about twice. This bike was super quiet originally, and so I decided to change the mufflers, and boom, never got merged again after that. So as I was saying, when Joe just came down here to Florida, he moved and we were riding together, and even while riding together, I will be in front of him and people will notice that I was there, so they wouldn't merge on me. And then as soon as I pass and he will like catch up to me, while catching up to me, he will get merged on because of how quiet his bike is. So while I do believe, and I'm not trying to convince anybody to make their bike louder or quieter, you know, it's a matter of a preference. Also, it is a matter of, you know, doing everything you can to try to be noticed. Not necessarily for the sake of people going like, wow, look at that motorcycle. But mainly for the sake of, you know, cagers noticing you. Being able to say, hey, you know what, okay, there's a motorcycle somewhere around here, probably to one of my sides. I shouldn't probably merge right now or try to change my lane or whatever, and try to keep your ass safe. I'm pretty sure also that can be achieved with enough lights on your bike, especially at night. But, you know, I don't want to turn my bike into a riding circus. Hence the reason why I never put like inside lights on it, like LEDs. I was thinking once about doing it, but then I was like, you know what, this is just gonna turn like every other bike that everybody rides around, and I don't really want to do that. I just want to do my own thing and, you know, have the bike the way I like it. And yes, I like to be seen at night, but I don't know that I will eventually not get tired of that. And the other thing is, here in Florida it's really hot and warm, and I have to say the Scout's engine heats up real well. The fan comes on every once in a while, and it can get to 210, 220 degrees, so it's really hot. Many people complain about how the heat gets to their legs and whatnot. They buy heat shields and all that. And I know other people that they modify their bikes to try to make them not as hot. And I have to say that I've seen people actually put in lights right over the engine on the gas tank. Well, I have to say that because of the temperature, I'm not entirely sure those lights are going to stay there permanently. I have a feeling that after a while they'll probably peel off. It just doesn't make sense that those bikes are going to be able to stay there when the bike is just so hot and the temperature's hot already. Although, with that being said, I love riding here in Florida. I love being able to ride all year round. I love to be able to ride comfortably during the winter. I love to be able to ride during the summer. It's just fun. It's just my thing. Again, it's not for everybody. By the way, this coming Saturday, I'm going to be recording another video. Joe and I were going to go to the Indian dealership for the test rides of 2019 Indians. And he's looking for a bike, so I'm hoping that he actually settles for something. And I really want to test ride a dark horse. I've been looking forward to. I want to see what's up with it. Granted that I'm not ready by any means to buy one, but I do want to see what's up with the bigger bikes. I want to see what eventually I'm getting into. I don't really want it to be like ready to buy the bike and then end up finding out that it's not the bike for me. So little by little, I'll try to do my research and find out as much as I can about the motorcycles I like. So does any of you have an Indian Scout or any other Indian? How do you like it? How long have you had it? Well, if you're watching this video and you like it, make sure to subscribe, like this video, give me a nice thumbs up if you can. This coming weekend, stay tuned because we're gonna have more motorcycle riding videos. It's bound to get more fun. We're probably gonna have some interaction. I'm gonna show the inside of the dealership, which they have a whole room full of Indian bikes that I have to say I will live there if I could. That place is amazing. And if I had a garage, I will definitely decorate it with Indian stuff, whatever. Right now, I've been lucky enough that, granted that I haven't had to leave my bike outside, I do have a porch big enough where I can get my bike inside. And again, it's just a porch. It has only a screen on, but it's a lot better than having the bike completely exposed outside. I've heard many people leaving their bikes outside in the elements, especially people that live in apartment complexes and whatnot. People finding their seats slashed, broken, other people pushing their bikes down. So it's not the best thing ever, but you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. In any case, hope you guys liked the video.